Yo. Mm-hmm. Yo, 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 yo. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. See, we're gonna have some issues, but we should be fine for the moment. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome back to the This is the second episode of the Triple R podcast for real, recognized realization. Where you get my point of view from my third eye view, Mr. Unorthodox, never caught the chicken pox, Prince Theo Jr. Now, today, I got a special episode for y'all today. I have a co-star today as well. He'll be on in a bit. Right now, he's just freshening up. He has some stuff that came up just as well. I had some little technical issues that came up, but we here now. But yeah. So let's get a little bit into this right now. I just had to finish live, pretty much sharing the link and everything, posting it, everything, share it everywhere, and all that good stuff. But until he's ready, we're gonna get right into the situation. Alright, so first and foremost, thank y'all for being so patient with me. Thank you for rocking with me. I know it took a long time. I'm a week late. I know, a little upsetting. I know I have been off track. It's just certain circumstances just been taking my whole eye off the prize. You know what I'm saying? No women, no none of that. It's just life itself has just been throwing my mental load to the point where it's been slowing me down on my creativity. So, and plus learning a lot of equipment work and a lot of stuff to really help this become more efficient is really a toll on my brain. So some days I just take a little time off, enjoy myself, and get it done at some point. But I don't really like to force myself into doing something so much to the point where I'm gonna burn myself out from it. Because if I burn myself out from it, I'm not gonna have fun doing it anymore. But hey, what do I know? So today we're going to be talking about, I don't know how loud this is, but we're gonna turn it down. But today we're going to be talking about relationships, transgender, and how they are transitioning to sports. And we're going to also be talking about empowerment of black people, melanin people, our melanin queens, kings. We gotta really educate our brothers and sisters on a lot today. And this is going to be a very interesting episode. It's going to be really in depth. I'm kind of happy for this episode to even come about. I got a lot in store for y'all for this episode, but I know the first topic I'm gonna really get into is relationships. Listen, now one thing I really want to talk about relationships, mainly because of the fact of just like how society is playing out recently. Because I feel like society is going into a whole spiraling when it comes to. I'm not just speaking on just couple relationships. I'm talking about friendships, family relationships, any kind of relationship that got a bond to come with it. So I feel like my view and perspective on it is just what media right now is portraying the image of a lot of stuff that goes on with relationships and how men treat women and how women treat men. I feel like it's a lackluster of trust in relationships at this point. Like even with friendships, like it's just a lackluster. You feel me? People aren't really taking initiative to really think on their own of how things happen and how they work. Like I feel like with relationships, it's like to a point where people don't take it serious as what they should, like, or people just don't know what they want because they got so many images and clarifications of what they think the perfect relationship is and what they think the perfect male or female is for that relationship that they want. So it's like how can someone paint a picture and expect that picture to be as perfect when they didn't really, I don't know, perfect the craft for that picture? Not every picture is perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be a slip up. There's going to be a mishap. It's going to be something that's going to knock off. And it's not to doubt anything, but it's just, that's how it works. People got to get this narrative out of their head, thinking that relationships are like some type of prize. I mean, not saying it's not a prize possession, but you got to get out of that mental state where you're thinking it's like it's an award or something. Like, it's not an award, because once you're in a relationship, you got to keep working hard for multiple rewards that's going to come down the line. You feel me? So I want to just get my views and points off on that. So before I really get more into this, I want to see when my partner going to put it in, when he's going to come about. Because I really don't want him to miss out on anything. Mm. I don't know why it's doing that, but so yeah, just in case, how's everybody's day? How y'all doing? I gotta remember, I moved my camera into a different spot, so my actual laptop just at this point. But how y'all doing today? I know it's nobody in here right now, but hope y'all doing well. Hope everything is going okay. I don't want to just put so much time into a conversation that he wants to talk about but I might can catch him up to speed in a second. Let's see. All right, so relationships. We're gonna start off with my interpretation on relationships. All right, me pretty much how I interpret relationships is two people uniting as a unit, like coming together to make a circuit, not a circuit breaker, but to become a circuit that's going to become a input and an output. Like, I feel like, okay, not all times every relationship is going to be 50-50. Understand that? 100% complete. Understand that? Who cares? Right? So my thing is, I want people to understand that relationships are harder to maintain than people think they do. Like what they think they know. And a lot of people aren't in this time and day are like in a predicament mentally to be establishing a relationship with somebody. Is that a bad thing? No. But most people need more dependence than the average independent person. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people usually tune into a relationship because of the fact that they're scared to be alone, you know? And it's not ever a bad thing to be alone. Now, am I saying be alone like 100% of the time? No. But what I'm saying is learn how to be on your own. Because at the end of the day, not everything is promised. Is that saying that your relationship is going to fall in like a day or two? No. It just means prepare yourself mentally when a day like that would come. make sure you're mentally stable enough to the point where you don't have to sit there and be sad and depressed when somebody exits your life and you want to do like negative things to yourself because of the fact that you can't get what you want out of that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's more people out there in the world than you think it is. And it's like, people got to understand and think, like, even in a relationship, you have to be patient. You have to have patience. Patience is a virtue. It's a key. It's a necessity tool of when getting into a relationship, because it's like, you got to really realize when you're talking to somebody, it's patience. So people don't realize whenever you like put yourself in a situation where you get into a relationship, you gotta be patient with that person. You gotta learn that person. You gotta understand that person. You gotta understand where you stand with that person. You gotta know where and how you can control certain things in that relationship. You gotta establish those fundamentals beforehand, like before you even really get into depth into that label status. Like, say for instance, like I done been in situations with females who like I've encountered that, I was expecting to be like really cool with, just friends and everything, cool, but they liked me so much to a point where they established a relationship in their own mental without my say so. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put somebody in a situation in your own head that you think that they know about. It don't work like that, because it's gonna fall, because you sitting here expecting the extra out of that person, when in all reality this person don't even know what you got going on in your brain. You're just going by how you feeling and what you're thinking. You gotta let that go. So you gotta put it in a perspective where this person will understand you. These people will know like how you feel about the situation. You just can't throw somebody into a moving bus, as if like they're going to catch on or they're going to jump on real quick to even get that ride. Not you throw a motherfucker into a moving bus and think they finna get on there quick as possible, they gonna get hurt. Possibly worse, but let's not expect that. So but anyway, so when it comes to relationships, it's like you gotta have a hard head, like a strong mental. Like, mind you, certain people don't even have strong mentals. It's just that they dived into a relationship with somebody with a strong mental that was strong enough to pretty much mold them into a way that they wanted them to be shaped. I've witnessed a few people who do this, where it's to the point where they deal with somebody so much to the point where they done molded them so much into something that they wanted that they can no longer get over it, because that's your project that you just made. You just fundamentally made a mold out of a human being that you can now switch the mold, you can control the mold, you can unfold the mold, you can throw the mold away if you want to, but you're not going to do that because you put so much time into that mold of molding to really mold that person into something that you want. And it's like I won't say a manipulation tactic, but in a hints, it kind of has its manipulation to it, because it's like you have that power and ability to really control a person in the way that you want them to. That's kind of wicked, right? So you want to be in a perspective where you and the person, I won't say is equal out balance, but you got to come to a conclusion where similarity and comprehension, like everything's got to be almost close enough to the point where y'all can agree to disagree. Y'all ain't gonna argue. Y'all can put aside your differences. You can even decide on the meal perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, sometimes you just gotta step out your comfort zone to really make that happen. And there's a lot of people that's out there that really don't know how to do that. Don't know how to step out their comfort zone, or don't know what they really want initially out of anything. Excuse me. But yeah, like I just feel like it's at a point where relationships in this society is a little more challenging than it was back in the day. Like, you got so much advertising on TV for the male to be like, and for the woman to be like, to the society standards, that it's conflicting, because there's certain people who don't, well, like myself, who don't really follow the media's way of doing things, relationship wise, technically. There's certain things that the media portrays that I don't follow, because I have a broader mindset that thinks on a whole other level. So it's like, when it gets to a point where I feel like, how can I put this? When I get to a point where I feel like I can't establish something with somebody on a mental note, like you gotta be on a open mind to reach me. Like, I don't care how nice you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how rich you are. None of that crap. Like, you gotta establish equality with me. Am I saying full equality? No. But I'm talking about a good 80% of equality for a situation with us to even do anything. Because it's like, I don't want to waste my time, just like how you wouldn't want to waste your time. You feel me? So if you're going to really try to be with somebody, be with that person. But don't let them overly mold you because you're your own character. Because once somebody molds you and puts you in a perspective where they feel like they can have you on their strings, it's going to mess with you. Because it's like, to the point now where it's like, you allow this person to make you this way, and you can't get out of it because you made them that way. If that makes sense. And you don't want to be in a situation where you're with somebody who makes you into something that you're not. You're your own person. You're a solo human being, mentally, physically, and emotionally. So if you're gonna make it work, Captain. But also, it's like the same thing with friendships as well too. Like, and that's one thing, another thing about relationships that kills me nowadays on society's standards is friendships. People think, let me pull this over because I keep hitting it. People think when you're in a friendship, your friends are supposed to that you're supposed to support them 100% of the time. Now, am I saying that it's not okay to be supporting your friends? No. Obviously, if you friends with somebody and you feel like they're actually doing something to progress, support them. Am I saying throw money at them? Nah. But if you want to spare something to them, go ahead. Share their information, share their pages, share their links and everything. You see them grinding, show their appreciation. Now, and I was just talking with a friend about this yesterday, about the same situation, because it was upsetting her because of the fact that her friends don't support her the way that she would love them to. And I had to get to a point where I had to tell her straight up, like, I understand where you're coming from, because at the end of the day, not all my friends, not all my family support me, but they're there. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's just like, whenever I do get big enough, I make it and do things on my own time. Like, I know who was there and who actually helped and supported. It's just like, people gonna support you regardless, even if they don't do it in the best way you feel they should do it in. They're gonna support. But I feel like, personally, I've been publicly throwing myself out there for years now. Well, I had slowed down like the last couple of years, just life situations came up, but I feel like once I was really grinding, I felt like I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like I stopped caring about friends supporting and sharing and liking and stuff, because it's just like I got more support from strangers than I did with my actual friends. Like I think just personally where, hold on. I just feel personally where if you want realization from your friends, you gotta realize who they are. You gotta realize if they're real or not. If they don't support you as much as they would like for you to support them, then I'm not gonna sit there and say they're a real friend, but they're not as a supportive friend that you need around you. Those should be the friends that you leave on the side, and you just, that's the ones you're gonna disperse from, because of the fact that, because you're gonna stop supporting them because of the fact that they don't support you. And once you start supporting them, they gonna question you like, oh, why you're not supporting me anymore? Da da da, because you're not supporting me the same way. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing against you, but I got to stop doing something that's you're not doing as well for me. If a friend gets mad about that, they ain't a real friend. Because at the end of the day, you can still support your friend while you're doing your thing, and that friend can still support you while they're doing their thing. It don't take but 2 seconds to share a link. It don't take but 2 seconds to come in to watch a video or something of somebody's. You ain't gotta watch the whole video. Just watch it and see if you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? It's just that level of support where you can go with your friends. Like I don't know. I just feel like friends nowadays aren't the same as back in the day. Like I felt like people was more loyal before they really got into like the mainstream life and the society and all the rappers and stuff like that. I just feel like everything did a U-turn. Well, not even a U-turn. It hit a hard right, and now we into another direction. It's just, it's kind of sickening because it's like people don't see it like how some of us do, because it's like you want to be around people that you love and care about, but the ones that you love and care about won't even care about you in a way that you would love for them to do. And that's another thing people got to understand too. It's like when people ask of support, nobody's asking you to go full fledged out and support them. If you really believe in that person, like you claim that you do, put some support into them. Don't holler out these ideas or concepts and just ill thoughts that you would put in somebody's heads to make their brain sick enough to the point where it just, they lose faith. Because it's like a lot of people do that. Like generally sometimes I feel like I don't get supported enough by my own people to the point where it's just like it makes me mentally sick, and it makes me lose focus. I don't like seeing that. Even when I talk to friends, I show friends, like they see my work and everything, and they don't even support me on a level where I need them to, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to help all my peoples get out. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not just for me. This is for everybody. I want this to go worldwide to a point where I want all my friends to be out here. You know what I'm saying? But some people just don't believe in the dream. And it's like at some point, once the dream becomes a bigger reality, you got to leave those people that you had in that dream behind. Because it's like they didn't support. They didn't do anything for you to help support. You know, they always talk up how much they want to support shit, but they don't support. So for that, you just got to leave them alone. And it's like another thing when it comes to like friendships, it's bad because some friends, not all friends, but not generally talk about me, but I'm just saying like some friends, right? They get to this point where, okay, they wanna. I hate them type of friends where they get in a relationship, they start slowing down your progression of your friendship for that person. Now, I understand that's your spouse, your soulmate, your husband, whatever the case may be, wife, girlfriend, whatever. I feel like if you already established a friendship with somebody, don't decline it, because it's like, all right, what was the friendship really built on if you knew you was gonna get into a relationship with somebody just to cancel me out? I'm not gonna sit around and wait on your friendship and your potential when I'm losing out on making new friends and potential somewhere else. I can find different friends. I can find different best friends. I can find different close friends, associates, whatever the case may be. I just feel like if people are going to start slowly progressing their friendships, just let somebody know ahead of time. Like, all right, I'm gonna be with my friend, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, whatever the case may be. So our friendship is not gonna be as strong as it usually be. It's just gonna be slowed down. Okay, cool. That's a notice. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's a notice of like you cut me off or anything like that. It's just our friendship is that's not gonna be efficient. That's how it used to be. Cool. Sorry. But yeah, I just feel like it's a lot when it comes to just the whole relationship, bond, friendship things. It's further beyond that, because I just feel like the society is out of whack when it comes to all of that. Even when it comes to family, like I feel like it's all out of whack, especially in this pandemic time. Nobody trusts nobody. Nobody cares about anybody. Nobody even wants to hear you out. How you even want to. Like, this whole pandemic situation has transitioned everybody's mindset to a whole different ball game. Like, it bothers me because it's like I hate knowing that I gotta be around such a circumference of mindsets where nobody evolved, where this pandemic still has people dumbed down to the point where they feel like fear is all they know. They're in distress, distraught, pretty much. Like, brain is just like overpopulated of just straight COVID and relentlessness. I'm not gonna get into that really depth, but it has made everybody's brain go loco to the point where just like they can't trust friends. I'm sorry, you only got a few hours of sleep tonight, last night. They can't trust friends. They can't trust family. They can't trust their loved ones. They can't trust cousins, brothers, sisters, mothers, aunties. None of that. Not even the ancestors of God. Like, they don't trust anybody. You feel me? So I feel like it's so much going on in the world where it's keeping everybody's mental to the point where it's locking out everybody's mental, because people just don't know how to think for themselves. So for all the dependent people in this whole situation, time has come to a point where they don't, once again, don't know how to think for themselves. And it's like, once you lose that person, that dominance that keeps you together, to hold you together as like a puzzle, what is going to happen with how you move, with how you do things, with how you just like get around? Like, that's a real life question. Like, how do you feel about that? You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody is in a situation where, okay, cool, let me just jump into this person's arm real quick while this whole situation is going on, all this terrible stuff that's happening, and I can feel so strong with this person and just live normally. It's not normal living at this point. It's we're in a pandemic. Nothing is normal anymore. Like, get over it. Once people realize that once this pandemic is over and but once people realize to the point where this pandemic is over and people can really be free, well, they could have still been free minded, but once people realize that they actually have freedom again and can do what they want, people are going to change. Not back to the same people, but it's going to change. And it's not going to be whatsoever remotely close to the same. So I'm going into this whole pandemic still situation with an open mind, strong, strength wise, brain power. Like, I'm not to a point where I'm trying to bash anybody for how they think anymore. Like, I'm not on that type of time where it's just like I'm about to force anything upon you. However you think is however you think, and that's just how it's gonna play out. That might bother me. Put this on vibrate for a second. There you go. The heck? 1 second. Let me just. I get right back on to what I was talking about. Let my brother know. Just call me on here. Alright. See a lot going on my phone. But, so to continue, I just feel like at some point we need to all come together as friends, people in relationships, all that good stuff. Like, I feel like we are in turmoil right now, especially in society. Like, we need to all make a mental change, society change, televised change. Like, all that stuff needs to be changed. The whole narrative. I just feel like what the government is portraying our eyes and brain is just not good for our mental health and what we getting ourselves into, especially when it comes to friends, family, relationships. Like, I feel like they're doing so much to cause us turmoil, to wreck our relationships, where we can't really be who we are, because it's like people feed into that stuff. Like, all the social media aspects, like, people really feed into that stuff, and it trains their brain to be something that they're not. And then once they try to meet somebody that's really real, to recognize that realization, they don't like that, because it's like they're on a different type of mindset that you're not ready for yet. It's like it's like agenda being pushed, where it's like, all right, the more we separate everybody, the better chance of us to let out the plays and everything that we have to go on. That's how it is. And it's like, when I started seeing people really get to a point where if their spouse or somebody caught COVID, they would literally sit on the other side of a door and eat with them. First off, I don't care how sick, if I had a shorty right now, I don't care how sick she was. I'm going to eat right there next to her. You think out of all the diseases we done came across growing up, especially in my almost 26 years of living, you think I'm about to take a risk of sitting there looking at my shorty through a door, eating with her, or passing her food up under a door? No, tripping. Like I want to be there, right front and center when it comes to this. Like right front and center for it. I ain't finna sit here and be told, oh, you need to sit inside and you need to quarantine from the people that have it. And no, man. Some people it's just that you don't been raised with their whole life. Like there's people you don't grow up with your whole life. There's people you don't shared food with, utensils with, all kind of stuff. You don't been around these folks around when they was sick, like from other diseases and flus and viruses. You know this. So why disband yourself from somebody that you care about genuinely and you truly love? You want to fight it out with that person. You that scared of that person to the point where you got to sit on the opposite wall of a person. Right. Yeah. Like it's crazy, man. Like I just oh crap. I just feel like life is going to get harder for us, and time is going to show it. We just don't know when and where it's going to stop. Like, and I'm saying it like this: we gotta know when to stand up for ourselves, especially in times like this. Especially if we want to be with somebody that we know we love, we gotta learn how to stand up for ourselves. If not, we're gonna keep getting ran the fuck over. That's no bueno. And it's just like, also family. Family is gonna be the hardest when it comes into a situation like this because it's like, okay, they care about you, especially if they know they ain't open minded or they just like they don't do any research or anything into anything. Like they're going to be the most fearful ones. So family is going to be the ones that's going to make sure you stay in the house trapped in like a slave. Listen, don't be that people. Like, let people have experiences. Let people go out and do their thing. Like, even in a time like this, let them go be themselves. Because at the end of the day, it's like, there's people out here that's working still, that is still scared of this whole situation, but you're still willing to work. Like, weren't you just scared, but you're essential because you still get to work because you feel like you can't catch the virus because of what, a little weak mask? Exactly. I just honestly think like certain people just don't think before they really like speak or do things because it's like, alright, the news told you this, but the news also said that you're an essential worker, which means you're able to work around all kind of people, which means you don't know who has it, you don't know who got it, you don't know who's coming around you, you don't know what they're bringing to you. It could be a coworker, but because they feel like I got a mask on, I can do all of this. This is my job. It means I am prepared for anything in the world to be doing all this stuff. No, it don't work like that. I just feel like sometimes family just gotta chill and really think out things before they do stuff because even family is not even a perfect relationship because we all know we all grown up with family where we have our difficulties with family members. You know, we had our beefs with family members and stuff starts spiraling. You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta make a change when it comes to our relationships with friends, family, and relationships because if we keep letting them portray these images and sceneries and videos and celebrities that keep trashing them is just going to make everything worse. We got to take a stand for that. But I'm gonna give myself a few minute break real quick. We'll be right back, and hold that thought. all right. We back from break time. Just had to take a quick break. Um, so yeah, we back at it again. My co-host, costar is not here still. I don't know if he's coming or not, but we're gonna continue without him regardless, and we're gonna make this happen. So all right, we done finished off with the whole topic of just friendships, relationships, and all that good stuff. So we finna get right into the topic at hand of the transgender versus sports category. Now I know, before I really get into this, a lot of y'all is finna be at me because of this, and I don't care honestly. But this needs to be talked about, and a lot of people won't talk about this because they're fearful. But I'm not. But so I've been seeing recently some few articles of trans men join women sports. Listen, I have nothing against trans, nothing against the LGBTQ, whatever it's called, movement. I don't have nothing against gays, lesbians, bisexuals, none of that crap. But one thing for sure I do have an issue with is that y'all are letting part timer opposite genders play in opposite sports. I seen a couple articles where I seen this one transgender man who joined the female UFC and literally broke this woman's skull. I was so appalled with that whole article because it's what people got to really think about this is, right? As a transgender, you're not fully that opposite role. I don't care how much you want to remove certain body parts and add the opposite gender's body parts to you. You didn't change yourself genetically, your genetic code, your genes, your all that good stuff yet. You did not change any of that to literally make you into the opposite gender. You're still the same person, but with a few minor changes to your body, and you're taking medications to decrease your testosterone. You still gain enough testosterone to really still be man, any female. I don't care how much of a trans you don't went into. You're still physically stronger than that woman. That's a fact. First and foremost, why would women want to allow a trans man to come into the sport that they're doing? For what reason? Did y'all not think about this? Like, hey, oh, okay, he's a trans female. You know, it's okay. He can come in, or she. First and foremost, if I was in a woman's shoes, I would not even agree. I'd be like, just take away my job, strip me from my job, because you're not gonna sit here and have me going up against a man that's not fully a woman. That man is every bit 100% man. He just have now body parts of a woman on him. That's not fair to the women whatsoever. And it's like people who would really talk about this and go against it, the community would come at them as if like, you're a sexist, you don't care about us, you know, we've been wanting equal rights just like how you would want equal rights. And it's just like, let me say this, gay people get more equality than us melanin people, so much more. Like it's so much to the point where we don't fit in the equality question. Like they have more rights than we ever will. Like they have the power to, a trans man who can turn to a woman can really be put his hands on a woman and not go to jail for it. They're gonna treat it as if like he was an actual woman. Because if they don't, they're going to get locked up. They're gonna get sued, and they're gonna lose out on money. How can you? How can the society of these people who made all this stuff even legitimate? How could y'all be terrified of a mechanic that y'all put and installed into this world? Y'all are the original creators of this. So why would you be scared about somebody suing and coming at you taking money and trying to promote something when y'all are the ones who's advertising it? Like, did like no female ever think to assume like this is a man? This is a man with women body parts. Why would you in your right mind think that you could take on a man in that type of sport? That man crushed this woman's skull, broke her skull, like annihilated her skull, punching it. Ladies, y'all gotta stand up for yourselves. Y'all gotta stop being on this submissive bull, because it's like y'all are getting everything taken away from y'all, and it's coming faster and faster every day. Like even in broadcast TV shows and stuff now, it's nothing but more trans men coming into play. Y'all are allowing men that can't transform fully into a woman to become y'all. Y'all are trying to have them come into y'all spotlight to take what y'all got going on. Why would you even let some blasphemy like that even happen? Like, y'all didn't think for like 2 seconds, like, okay, let's put in perspective. If I get in this ring with this man, with this transgender male, female, there's a possibility chance I could get beat really bad, or I can possibly give it this run this for its money. Y'all are not getting the bigger picture. And then I also seen another article about this 50-year-old transgender man who joined a female's college basketball team. The man is 6'8", 230 to 40 pounds. First and foremost, hold on. First and foremost, why? Why is that a thing? Now, everybody sat there and was pissed because of Kris Jenner winning Woman of the Year after he went trans. That shouldn't even happen in the first place. I don't even know why people even allowed that. Like that shouldn't have been a thing. Like I don't even know how he won that award. I don't care. After all, what can you do, right? But it's just stupid how women aren't standing up for themselves in this type of predicament to go on strikes, boycotts, girlcotts, if you want to call them that, or like protesting against this type of deal, because it's like y'all are really losing y'all jobs, y'all are losing y'all spotlight, y'all are losing everything that y'all was born into for men who wants to be you. But yeah, so it's like, why do people want to make it so hard on themselves to put themselves in a society position? And this is another thing when it comes to this type of stuff too, and I have to let people understand and know this. Just because you get into the Hollywood scene and you think you're about to go out there and be great, you're not gonna go out there and be great. You're not. You're gonna go out there and look stupid, because they're gonna take all your rights away. They're gonna take all your principles away. If you don't know what you're getting yourself into, I advise you to stay away from that scene. Why? Why would you let a full-blown transgender man play sports with women 2 times less your size? This man is literally going to be the best WNBA player or whatever female college it is, or however the college name is, of all time. Just because of how big he is, let alone what he's going to be able to do when it comes to those little women. Now, who's to say this man is fully trans, right? Well, I mean, because obviously you can never be fully trans genetically. You just can't change that. That's just set in stone. You're born a man, you're born a man. You're born a woman, you're born a woman. If you want to try to change yourself to his appearance as a woman or a man, that's on you at that point. But you're not. Still, I don't care how surgically you make yourself to be one. You're stuck in something that you. And that's one thing I want to get into real quick as well. So these stupid ads. So one thing I never understood is when people, well, from the LGBT community, they would say like, I was born this way, and like I should have been born opposite sex or anything like that. First and foremost, I just feel like that's just not legitimate. Like I feel like that's not a legitimate reasoning on why you did what you did to change yourself. Let's get something straight. Scientifically proven, you don't remember anything until the age of 4, probably like 4 to 5. But I say 3, between the ages 3 and 5, you start remembering, like building the foundation of like muscle memory to remember a whole lot than what you're supposed to remember, right? So, how does one know at the birth of what they're supposed to be? Like who told you as a baby? Like, how did you even remember that far back in time to know that you were supposed to be the opposite gender of yourself? Like, for real though, like I just can't fathom somebody thinking in that perspective. Like, and this is one thing that I feel about it. I feel like in order for somebody to really get that far in depth into a mindset like that, you have to be like, and this is nothing against anybody who has been through this experience or anything like that, but you had to be like molested as a child or something, like sexually abused, like physically beaten on to a point where you started hating that gender of that you are, like, or you was just around it and experiencing it because your parents was same sex doing what they doing. You was around it in some way, or you was hurt mentally to a point where you just want to transition yourself. That's the only way possible. I can legitimately think that somebody can really switch themselves. I don't just think like nobody can just know what they were as a white and baby formation. Like, I don't think I can even comprehend that. I can't lock that in my brain to think that way. Yo, what's going on? To my one viewer, I didn't even peep you. What's going on with you? How's your day? How you doing? What's going on? What's popping? But I don't see how some people can think that way. Like, that's just a society M's trick that's been put in the brain of people of that nature. And I'm not, like I said again, I don't got nothing against anybody that's gay, bisexual, whatever that case may be, trans, none of that. But legitimately think, how did you know this? Who told you as a kid that you were supposed to be the opposite sex of which you was born? It wasn't God. God didn't tell you this. And then that's one thing I hate when people do too. And they try to bring God into the situation of everything. They want to like lock themselves into. Stop doing that. God didn't tell you none of this as a baby. Hell, I don't even remember about anything from the age of about 4 at this point. Who does? Honestly, I don't see how society's really letting the opposite genders really come into the opposite gender sports and just let them have their way at it. Like nobody don't see no negative in this. Like let's honestly think. Like if a female's to transfer into a man, right? Okay, she can have both testosterone, cortisone, like all that mixture and whatnot in their system, right? Still, but they are not going to be strong enough to be out there on a football field getting ran over by big behind naturally made men. No female can handle a trans man when it comes to basketball sporting. You come on. What female like just even a fun game, like what female just called out a nigga and just be like, alright, let's go full fledged into a basketball game 1-on-1. Everything. When have you seen that? Never, because there's not really much females who can sit there and back down a man, who can sit there and outpower a man, out rebound a man. No, none of that. One push off real quick from a man to a female, and y'all see how little female basketball players can be. They're going to fall and hurt themselves. People gotta really stop allowing this to happen. Like at some point, I want to see this world come to a change of realization to recognize the real in this. Like you gotta stop allowing this. Stop allowing this type of like cruelty to the world, because it's going to get to a point where boys are going to be thinking it's okay to be hitting females because of they're seeing men transformed into women beating on other females and getting away with it. They're going to feel obligated because, okay, if he can just transform into a female a little bit, you know what I'm saying, I can still hit a female just like how he can. He gonna be trying to talk to a female the way like a trans man would talk to a female. Same thing with females. Like they gonna think, oh, because if I can transform into a dude, I can be a dude. Like I can do all the things that a dude can do. No, you can't. Well, you might be able to. It's a possibility, but it's not gonna be remotely close to how we can do it. Now, am I putting this in a perspective where I'm saying that males are better than females? No. There's just some things that women physically can't outdo a man. That's it. And there's some things that we can't physically outdo a woman in. It's proven scientific facts. Like, I just don't like how society at this point is dumbing us down mentally. We just allowing things to happen. We're just letting it be set in stone. People are just going to a point where it's just like, if I don't get a check, then I ain't worried about it. If I ain't getting no money out of it, I ain't worried about it. One thing you need to notice, money ain't everything. It's a necessity to get around in this world that they made it for. But money is not no big obligation for anybody. We can technically live for free if that's how they ran the world to be. Don't need any money to even do anything. People could literally trade all type of merchandise, tools, necessities, appliances, all kind of stuff for free, just in exchange for the same things that we're getting back in return. It's all free, but they choose to make money a big necessity tool to really live on this earth. Think about it this way. Y'all always saying that y'all want to get to a bag. Once you start getting to a bag, more problems come with that bag. You got to defend that bag. You got to take care of that bag. You got to make sure that bag stays full. You got to make sure that bag stays afloat. You got to make sure that bag is on you at all time. You're so worried about like you're so worried now about money to the point where you saying forget everything in life besides my bag. You don't want to get into that mind state, because at the end of the day, you're going to lose focus and sight on human life. You're gonna lose focus and sight on people. You're gonna lose sight on just your relationship because you're gonna be so much worried about getting money to a point where you're forgetting about your spouse. You're going to be so mainly focused on money to the point where you're gonna lose focus on your friendships, family, all kind of stuff like that. You don't need to get to that mental state. We're in a world right now where the LGBT community is getting a big uproar. We're getting all other ethnicities are getting a push, except melanin people. The only time we really got like a major push was when the vaccines rolled out. That's when the only time they really cared about melanin people stepping up to the plate to really doing something for them. Little do people know, like, us melanin people, we are a wide variety. We are that color in the coloring box that can make all colors. We are the package deal. We fundamentally make sports. We are the main headers of sports. If you notice any sports that's been played besides like hockey or baseball, even golf, Tiger Woods has made a major impact in that sport to the point where black people are taking over. We are the money makers of this whole world. We create majority of everything here, from dances to videos to choreographies and shoes, brands, clothes, and all kind of stuff. But we don't use our necessities between our own selves. We are putting ourselves in a hellhole. And like I said, society is allowing this. Y'all are allowing these people to do this to us. We don't want this. We want equality just like how everybody else gets equality. We're not trying to sit here and see a man who has surgically procedured himself to favor a female sit here, beat up another female, and get away with that type of deal. Just because you done gave the illusion and the appearance to yourself to look like a female, don't give you the right to go beat up on females. You're still a nigga at the end of the day. You're still damaging a woman. It's the same thing. Just like if a female was to come into play to where, okay, I'm a trans man, that doesn't give that female the right to go beat up on a woman, because now you're a man now. It don't give you the right to go try to beat up on a nigga that could possibly hurt you. We don't get equality enough in this world, and it's sad because we're being let down terribly. Like we're being let down in a graceful period of time where we not sticking to our roots like how we should be. Like, it's so hard living in a society like this because it's like people are just too careless. Like, careless about everything, from friendships, relationships, family, money, this whole LGBTQ movement, the Black Lives Matter movement, political movement. People don't ever think before they really speak, so they just want to lash out because of their anger, because they feel like something that you said or done is pissing them off. Nobody don't ever think to agree to disagree. Nobody don't come into a settled agreement to just hash stuff out. People just want to call you out your name and do all this other stuff that makes no sense for them to be doing. People want equality and they want to end a race war when they can't even communicate in a manner to even try to start that revolution. People want to come at you because of you have a different outlook on things and it don't fit well with them. It don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, when it comes to this whole LGBTQ movement, like, I feel like it's the rights for y'all are at its peak. Like, y'all got the rights to marry each other now. Well, that's been going on since Obama was in the chair. Y'all got the rights to really be out here doing things that the opposite role can do and playing in the sports and everything. All right, y'all getting everything y'all wanted. Y'all getting spotlight on the TVs. Y'all getting all the money and everything. Y'all got all the laws that's helping y'all against anything that happens. Because as soon as a man put his hands on a trans man, he's going to prison, as if like he put his hand on a female. And that's terrible to even say that. Like that's really terrible. Um, I just I just hope one day this world society just stands up for themselves and actually like legitimately start seeing the negativity of what's going on in the world, man. Like I just feel like it's it's going left. I mean, it's been going left. It's going more into a left where we can't go right, and it's gonna be the worst day in the world. We can't even have the option to even go back right. You know what I'm saying? We can't do the right thing. We can't even make a right way to go. Like it's going to get crazy out here. But um, at this point, I pretty much got everything I wanted off my chest. I just want to encourage my brothers and sisters now at this end to just mainly be yourself. Like really be yourself. Stop trying to be like the next big thing. Like stop chasing that bag so crazy to the point where it's gonna make you crazy or drive you crazy. Go after something that's actually useful for your community, for your own mental well being. Like invest into your peoples, invest into your black businesses, invest into melanin corporations and all kind of stuff because it's like if we don't start supporting each other, they're gonna take everything from us completely to the point where we really ain't gonna have anything. People like to be like, and this is coming from black people. They be like, I don't like to trust black people because they always trying to overly charge or they don't do things like the other races do, and it's like, first and foremost, you got to realize this: a black corporation is starting up pretty much. I've noticed something about black community, corporations and companies. We do things a whole lot better. We try to use better material than other companies for our own self endorsements, for our own self, like, well, I'm just keeping it self endorsing and stuff like that, whatnot. Marketing. There we go. So we do things in a way where people can't copy or replicate it because we have to stick out. We have to be different. So when we add a price to our something that we work hard into, something we put time into, the things that we help to get to progress that progression of those items, we have to set it at a price that we feel like what we are worth. And people don't think for a second like, oh, okay, now I see he's not no big corporation. He's not no fancy corporation. This is a small business that's trying to make a living. They put all this time in it. They don't got all these fancy equipment to make these clothes and stuff. So they have to really market into themselves to really go find that quality that everybody's going to want. So they gotta overly pricey charge it because they charge the arm and the leg for it themselves. And people don't get that. It's like it just flies over their head. Like we have it so hard to the point where it's like even our own people look down upon us and tell us some. I hate depending on my own people because we either late, we don't really put in the effort and stuff like that. But when our reality is like we have it the hardest. We don't know what's gonna come up. We really don't know what's gonna come up. Like honestly, like I done had a few mishaps that came up in this last week from causing me to have this episode, but it didn't stop me from bringing up this episode today. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm now to a situation where I want to invest in myself and to my peoples that I want to be a part of this mission later down the line. And I hope and I pray and I hope and I pray that I can get through some people because I want to make my own corporation at some point. I want to make my own production studios at some point. I want to make it so where the people I truly love and care about to be a part of something that I help make, but I want it to be for sure that the people who's going to be a part of it is going to be serious about it. I don't want to keep having all these black people go to these white corporations and get ran over, don't even get your worth out of what you want. It's like mental slavery, even physical slavery, because it's like you put yourself into a situation where you make all this money, but what are you sacrificing for that money? You know what I'm saying? So I just want it to be to a point where we have a clear realization where we can always find a middle ground. We can always get to a point where we don't need other ethnicities for a push, for a chance, an opportunity. We should be building foundations for our own people to be establishing, to make power moves, teaching our kids to learn taxes, teaching our kids about the political game and how it's ran and how it's being abused by people that don't even come out broad daylight. Like, I want us to really start learning the other side of the story besides one story. Like, I just feel like certain people are just not ready for that talk yet, and it's just like it's fine, but it's just like at some point in your life you gotta wake up and really think this world is not normal. It's never been normal. It never will be normal, and probably won't ever see a day when it's gonna be normal while we living right now. It's to a point where, as a melanin man who's saying this, is that we are in terrible troubles because even our own people don't want to fight with us. Like, they look at us as if like we are the issue, when in our reality we just trying to talk sense into our own brothers and sisters and let them know like they are after us. They're trying to put us out of commission so they can have this country to themselves. And I'm sorry for all this yawning. I'm just tired. But I just want this to get to a point where we all stand up and we rise to the occasion, man. Like, I want us to be great. I want to see our people do good. I want to stop seeing my own people start hating and calling out our own people's names for it because of the things that they feel like they can't agree upon with them. Once again, people always want to be like there's two sides to a story, but a lot of people don't only like to use that statement when it's on their own time and when they're going through something, but not using that same terminology when it comes to things outside of that whole broadization. Like, stop letting society ruin your mental. Stop letting society run your whole physical. Stop letting society control yourself in general, your soul, like your energy. You need all that preserved to keep yourself afloat. And yeah, man, like, I just want to see my people do great, yo. Honestly, like, I just want to see everybody do great. And with that note being said, like, I thank y'all for whoever came in to watch. I know I've been in here for a good minute, to myself, and I like that anyway because it helps me just have a clear more mind on what I want to speak on, and just let me just flow. A little sad that my co-star didn't get to come through today, but at some point we might be able to make another episode with each other. I know he got some stuff going on with his situation, so I can't really be mad at him for that or anything like that. Stuff comes up, stuff happens, and that's cool. As long as I know that he told me ahead of time what was going on, and that's all that matters. But I know for one thing, we're gonna get together at some point and we're gonna make something happen. But episode 3, hopefully this weekend I can get all my 229 fellows up for the challenge to do in this episode. It's gonna be a new scenery for that episode. I want to get all my 229 friends I've born and raised with, even though I left for a decade. I want them all to come together and we have a fun episode. Like, I want it to be great. Like, I want us to be joking, roasting each other, talking about stuff that we don't averagely talk about. I want to see some freestyles included into it, like me and my boys. Last night we was out there turning on some beats and started freestyling them on some beats, going crazy. It was fun. It was funny. Even though we went hard in some of them freestyles, we still did our thing. But once again, thank you for coming to Third Eye Production, man. This is episode number 2 of the Triple R podcast. This episode will be left up as just like the first one, like the rest of them going to be. It's gonna be posted for after a few minutes. I think after it goes down, it will be on my channel. So if you missed it live, you'll be able to see it freely when it's up and posted on my own channel. So you're more than welcome to go watch it whenever you want to. But you know what I'm saying, as well, you see down here, you know what I'm saying, all my links down here. Like and subscribe, go follow, go add me, all that good stuff. This is your boy Prince Dio, Mr. Unorthodox. Never caught the chicken pox, where you get my point of view from my third eye view from you know who. I'm out of here, man. Once again, thank you for supporting your boy. Thank you for coming out to watch your boy. I might take a nap. More likely eat, but then I might take a nap if I can. But I'm about to be out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all again for coming through. Once again, like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode 3. Hopefully this weekend. If not, I'll be running the episode again for myself. Probably like on Monday. But you know, thank y'all again. Appreciate it.